It's my pleasure to introduce the principal of Dearborn High School, Mr. Chuck Boffman.
Okay, welcome tonight. While our students are lining up, I just wanted to say a couple of words. And our school board president, Mr. Berry, said almost per word what I was thinking on my way here, is I have this opportunity to have not only the students here to say what a great job, the success you've had academically. This night's for you, we're honoring you. But we're also having a chance to recognize some of our outstanding teachers that have allowed our students to have this success. So also to the teachers that are here, I just want to acknowledge the outstanding job you do as the students are recognizing you tonight as well. And finally, parents and family that are here. It's a great crowd in the back. I think we'll have to add some chairs next year to this, an outstanding turnout. But just the motivation that you bring and the support in just showing how important education is, modeling that, I think is what has also helped bring these students along. You could not do it at home by yourself. We could not do it at school by ourselves. We couldn't do it without the students' motivation. Put us all together, and you can see what we're able to turn out here. Okay, I think we're all set here. We are going to start with Fatima Abdullah.
Hi everyone, my name is Fatima Abdullah. I'm honoring Mrs. Rima Hassan tonight. I just wanted to say that without her, I wouldn't have had the courage to step out of my comfort zone and successfully plan a banquet with over 300 people for one of our student organizations this year. Thank you for always pushing me to be the best I can be. I love you.
Rana Al-Bukhalik.
Mrs. Nasser, just like any other teacher, is always there for her students. She puts so much effort and time into educating them. Thank you so much for always putting us first and for making us your priority. And thanks for always being with us each and every step of the way. You're an inspiration. Thank you.
Noor Abu Ghida.
Good evening. I invited my middle school math teacher, Ms. Cosenza, here tonight to honor her for being an amazing teacher who always motivated and encouraged us, and overall just made math an easy and enjoyable subject. So thank you, Ms. Cosenza.
You're welcome. Imad Abu Hassan.
I'd like to thank Ms. Nasser for helping me, for everything she's done for me. She inspired me and encouraged me to be a better person and to be more open-minded. And from her, I learned to love and amaze the world and its history.
Manal Abu Holloway.
When I was in middle school, I always thought that if you're an A-plus kid, you don't need help. You're an A-plus kid. You don't need to get tutoring or anything. And then one day, Ms. Heminger here came up to me and she's like, "You need help. You're getting a C in my class." And I'm like, "I'm an A-plus kid. I don't need help." But then I went to tutoring in her class, and ever since then, I've been that annoying kid that always asks questions and always gets help, because I learned that just because you're smart doesn't mean that you can't get people to help you.
Sam Ashkar.
Mr. Yoder. Honestly, I don't even feel comfortable calling him my teacher because of the strong connection that we have. Through all the good times, through all the good and all the bad times, I knew that he was always there for me. Besides, how many people can say they went to Florida with their teacher?
Mahdi El Hassan.
I would like to thank my wrestling coach, Coach Salaver, for the lessons he's taught me through blood, sweat, and tears. And he's taught me to have confidence in myself and my own abilities. And for that, I would like to thank you, Coach Salaver.
Amira Alnabulsi.
Mr. Eikens was my AP Literature teacher, and he taught me about perseverance, and he taught me that in life you're gonna encounter many obstacles, but it's the way that you deal with them that defines you, and I'm very grateful for everything he's done for me. So thank you, Mr. Eikens.
Ithara Al-Saraf.
Tonight, I would like to honor my chemistry teacher, Ms. O'Keefe. I want to thank you for everything, for taking the time to hand copy notes for us in class, for the labs, freezing point depression lab, the pie labs, everything, the tie-dye labs. It takes a genius to understand chemistry, but it takes a mastermind to teach it. Thank you.
Hannah Bagelman.
As my DECA advisor and my business teacher, Mr. Gallus showed me the other side of education, the side of getting involved and pushing my limits. And I never meant to join DECA, but I'm glad Sir Gallus insisted that I do because she taught me not to fear new endeavors, whatever the reason may be. She taught me to fully experience the promises of conformity while enjoying it in the process. And by the way, Sam, I went to Florida with my teacher too.
Salwa Baji.
Hello everyone. Tonight I am honoring my 5th grade teacher, Mr. Bazzi. Even though he did push me in the mud at camp, he always managed to support us in and out of school. And when I first put my scarf on, he actually went out of his way just to buy me scarves to show how proud he was of me, and that just meant the world to me. I just want to thank him for everything he's done for me. And I never viewed him as a teacher, but more as a fatherly figure. So thank you, Mr. Bazzi, for everything.
Grace Basila.
Hello, everyone. Tonight I brought with me Dearborn High's athletic director and my AP Calculus teacher, Mr. Conway. Mr. Conway did a very hard thing this year. He got a group of about 30 seniors to actually enjoy AP Calculus and even look forward to it every single day. I'm pretty sure it was the general consensus that it was our favorite class because not only was he an amazing teacher, but he made us laugh every single day. Aside from AP Calculus, Mr. Conway taught me how to keep the scorebook at basketball games, which honestly I think will come in handy more than the calculus later in life. So thank you.
Nice job. Laura Bazzi.
Hi, I would like to thank my elementary school teacher, Mrs. Gartha, my 5th grade elementary school teacher, for sticking with me throughout all my years of high school, even though I barely saw her, but her words of encouragement helped me to continue my education and get me through tough times. Thank you.
Nadine Bazzi.
Hi, everyone. I'd like to thank my confident consumer teacher, Ms. Heracus. Thank you, Ms. Heracus, for all that you've done for me. Thank you for believing in me and for pushing me to be the best that I could be. You're such a positive role model and someone in which I can look up to. You taught me lessons that I will continue to use in the next new chapter of my life. And I wanted to thank you for that again, so thank you.
Charles Bell.
Hello, tonight I'd like to honor my tennis coach, Coach Steve Beamlander. He's been my coach for 3 years, and whenever I was having a bad day and I went to tennis practice, he was always there with a corny joke, and he has about 1,000 of them to lift my spirits, and he was always there to encourage me on the court, in the classroom, off the court in life, and just overall I think he's become less of a tennis coach and more of a life coach for me.
Thank you. Mona Baydoun.
I have a lot of opinions, and thanks to Ms. Jones, I can now express those opinions in a clear and concise way and convince people about different things, so thank you.
Aya Batar.
When I was told to select a teacher that has influenced me throughout my educational career, Mrs. Ducat was definitely the first person to come to mind. She passed her passion of math down to me, and thank you for that.
Matthew Bowman.
I'd like to honor Ms. Baker, my special ed teacher for middle school and high school. She's always been there for me, even when people said I couldn't. And she's been a great teacher, and she's an awesome friend. And I want to thank her for always cheering me on, even when kids bullied me and said I couldn't do it. Thank you.
Megan Bolger.
Good evening. I am honoring my AP Biology teacher today. Mrs. Ranko is a dedicated teacher who truly cares about her students. She met with us over winter break to go over classroom materials, and she even emailed us a few days ago to wish us all good luck on our AP Calc exam. So I truly appreciate everything you've done for us.
Andrew Bridgman.
Hello. Tonight I would like to honor my 8th grade science teacher, Mrs. Utes. In middle school, this was my favorite class that I had, and I always looked forward to going to it. She was the one that really pushed me to go into DCMST, and she pushed me to work hard and to fulfill things that I didn't believe I could. Thank you.
Hussein Sharara.
Tonight I'm honoring Ms. Rima Hassan. I had her for both 9th grade language arts and last year in psychology. And she really showed me that school isn't something that we as students have to get through individually, and that we can learn just as much from everyone else around us as we could from any teacher. So thank you.
Heather Cornett.
Hello, I'd like to honor Mr. Oshnok. Going into high school as a 9th grader, everything's really new, but because of marching band, you know everyone before school starts. So I already had a community of people that I could go to and upperclassmen to show me around. Because of Mr. Oshnok, I not only learned music, but I also learned time dedication and how to manage things, like how to wake up at 5:30 every day for jazz band. I just really would like to thank him for the impact he's made on my life, and I hope that my experience in music in college is as great as the one I had in high school.
John Deutschman.
So I'm here honoring my AP Literature teacher, Mr. Eikens. In his class, he always gives these great, thought-provoking discussions that extend even outside the classroom for philosophical thought and sorry, I'm not. Yeah, philosophical thought outside the classroom that really makes me think about my life and new ideas.
And I give great hugs.
Aww.
Latifa Dura.
Good evening, everybody. Ms. Hassan was my 11th grade psychology teacher. She is definitely one of the most prominent figures in my entire 4 years of high school. She has helped me realize my full potential, both inside and outside of the classroom, and has given me her wise words and inspiration when needed. So thank you.
Christine Dubicki.
Hello, I'm here to honor my current Spanish teacher, actually. For the longest time, I wanted to be a teacher. Then I realized I don't have patience for kids. Then it was only through Miss Beatty's class and I realized I love Spanish. So that is why this coming fall I will be attending U of M Dearborn to study international studies and majoring in Spanish. Me encanta aprender en español.
Fatima Elshowich.
Good evening, everybody. I'm here to honor Madame Sloan. She was my teacher in middle school for all 3 years. And I remember Madame Sloan being so ecstatic, us jumping up on the tables and singing French songs. But I realized that Madame Sloan wasn't like this all the time. She was only like that in the classroom. And I realized that all the adults that she was around missed out on the opportunity to get to know her amazing personality. So it really made me think, and I'm so thankful to her for being herself and giving me the courage to be myself. Thank you.
Ola Elshowich.
Mr. Eikens was the only teacher that actually had to make me try for my A. And so, yeah, it is true. And he's the one who challenged me enough to, keep going and never give up on that A, even when I was 0.2% away from getting it. And so, yeah, he's an amazing guy that actually taught me more than I needed to know.
Thank you. Shadia Useli.
Hello. Although Ms. Kavitsky has been my art teacher for the past 2 years, her philosophy of thinking outside the box and allowing me to freely create my own personalized work will remain embedded in my mind as I strive for success in my academic career. By enriching my perspective on the various forms of art and encouraging me to find my own voice, Ms. Kavitsky has allowed me to return to a hobby that has been overlooked but is now valued once more. For this, I thank you, Ms. Kavitsky.
Angelina Foz.
Hi, I'd like to honor my band director, Mr. Ashnak. I'd like to thank him for helping me realize that academics are not the only thing important in life, and for helping me become really confident, dedicated, and responsible, not only in music, but in all aspects of my life. Thank you.
Thank you.
Zena Fakuri.
Tonight I'm honoring Mr. Police, and rarely have I met a teacher who has pushed his students to their fullest potential. Tonight I could not think of a better teacher to have standing beside me to honor.
Abbas Farhat.
I chose to honor Mr. Gallus tonight because not only through the many classes I've had with her, but through DECA as well, I've learned so many things that can not only be applied inside the classroom, but in my everyday life as well. So for that, I thank you, Mr. Gallus.
Yasmin Farhat. Colleen Feeney.
Hi, I like to honor someone who helped me in my ASL department, American Sign Language. She's the interpreter for our class, and she really made the environment very friendly, and it was very easy to understand the teaching. And I want to continue learning sign language in college, and she made it very easy to want to continue it. It's very friendly, so.
Kaylin Haggerty.
Hello, my name's Kaylin Haggerty, and I'm honoring my Algebra 2 and Pre-Calc Trig teacher, Mrs. Clark. Her class is very enjoyable, and I probably would not have passed as well on my entrance exams for college. So thank you, Mrs. Clark. You're welcome.
Christina Haggerty.
Hi, I'm representing and honoring Mr. Jeffrey Oshnock. Throughout my 4 years of high school, I've been in the marching band, and I have loved every minute of it. He's a really great guy, and he prepares you for life. And he's got tough love, and I love him. Thank you.
Noor Hamoud.
I'm honoring my AP Literature teacher, Mr. Eikens, today, even though he's been honored about 10 times. He adds spark to such a dull class, and he really spends his time getting through to all of his students. So, thank you, Mr. Eikens.
That was a backhanded compliment.
Deanna Harajli.
Hi, everyone. I'm here to honor my current AP Literature teacher, Mr. Eikens. Not only is he an amazing teacher, but a friend. He inspires us to look outside of the box and dig deeper. So thank you.
Catherine Hayes.
I have had Mrs. Stankwitz for 4 years of French, and she's always been super genuine and eager to help me answer all of my questions. Thank you.
Zain Hajazi. Nicholas Hoping. Kyle Johnson.
Mrs. K gave me ample leash and trusted that I wouldn't hang myself. She allowed me to allocate my time in whatever manner I felt was appropriate, even if that meant taking the day off. She even let me use my iPod in class, and for that I am truly thankful.
Victoria Johnson.
Today I'm honoring my chemistry teacher, Miss O'Keefe. Even though I didn't do the greatest in that class, she helped me gain a love for chemistry a lot. And I really enjoyed the physical labs and chemistry, and so I'd like to thank her for that. Also, our chats that we had after classes, it was great getting to talk to her about things that I would never get to talk to other teachers about. So thank you.
Malik Kabalan.
Hello, everyone. Today I'd like to honor Mrs. Janice Fawaz. Ms. Fawaz is not just any counselor, she's a great friend. And I want to thank her for always pushing me to my limits and helping me get through everything, basically. Thank you.
Nora Kadu.
Hi. Tonight I'd just like to take a moment to honor my AP biology teacher, Ms. Ranko. Ms. Ranko is a teacher who's devoted to doing anything she can in order to help her students succeed, and even if that means meeting with us over break to help. So thank you.
Rami Kadu.
Good evening. I'd like to honor Mr. Boffman because I feel a large component of high school is not only what you do inside of the classroom, but outside of the classroom. So Mr. Boffman's confidence in myself and my leadership endeavors has allowed me to grow confidence within myself. So I'd like to thank Mr. Boffman, and I'd like to thank all of the teachers and faculty who have made an impression on me throughout my life. So thank you.
Thank you, Rami. Jaffer Kassir.
I'm here to honor my language arts teacher, Mrs. Kassim, who isn't present here today, unfortunately. but I'd like to say that she taught me to go and recognize and interpret the deep areas of reading and literature. And without her, I would have never have been pushed towards my passion and thrive for more knowledge.
Alice Khalifa.
Hi, everybody. Today I'd like to honor my teacher, Miss Hain. Not only is she my AP Environmental Science teacher, but she's somebody I can count on for everything. From constantly having to ask her to write me letters of recommendation to having to help me clean up an experiment I blew up in chemistry. She's somebody I couldn't get through DCMST without. Thanks, Ms. Hain. Thank you.
Sahara Khan.
Hi, I'm Sahara Khan, and tonight I'm honoring Mr. Yoder, my BPA advisor. So I've spent a lot of time thinking about what I was going to say when I got up here, and to be quite honest, there's no combination of words that can accurately describe just how much of an impact Mr. Yoder has had on me, both as a student and a person. He believed in me more than anyone else ever has and ever will, and he inspires me every day to be a better person. Thank you for being the best advisor, teacher, friend, and role model there is.
Rasha Kanafer.
Good evening, everyone. I'm the third of 4 girls in my family, and I also happen to be the third of the 4 girls that picked Miss Hassan for tonight. She is somebody that I had as a teacher my junior year, but she's been teaching me since my freshman year. I've really enjoyed working with Miss Hassan inside and outside of the classroom, and she's someone I definitely won't forget and will definitely be seeing after this year.
Erica Mara.
Hi. I chose my mythology teacher, Mr. Godzicki, because he's taught me some of the greatest life lessons I've learned as a student, but not one of them has come straight from a textbook. Also, not many people can say they took a grade altering test on The Hobbit in their high school career. So for that, I thank you.
Patrick Matigian. Sasha Myers.
Hello. I would like to thank Ms. Hain for getting me off to a great start in high school. And although chemistry can be a super hard subject to learn, it became one of my favorite subjects in high school, and it was a fun class to take. Thank you, Ms. Hain. Thank you, sir.
Margot Mistor.
Miss O'Keefe was my AP chemistry teacher, and even though it was one of the most challenging classes I've ever taken, she never minded answering my endless questions, which there definitely were, and I think her dedication as a teacher rubbed off on me because she put in countless hours for us throughout the year, so thank you.
Thank you. So nice. I'm gonna miss you.
Stephanie Mitchell.
I also chose Miss O'Keefe as my teacher. Her teaching and guidance has been so influential on me these past few years of high school. She instilled a love for chemistry in me, which was huge in picking my college and major. So thank you.
You're welcome. I'm proud of you. Thank you.
Samuel Masigian.
Hi, everyone. I'm here tonight to honor my computer science teacher, Mrs. Shalver. Her rigorous yet entertaining teaching style truly demonstrated that she cared about disseminating her knowledge on the subject so that we would be successful on those awful AP exams we're all stressing about this week. But I was told I can't cry or she'll slap me, so a thank you will have to suffice.
Bryce Norwood. Chloe Palajak.
I would like to thank Mrs. Hain for infusing me with a passion for environmental science, and because of her, I will be studying environmental engineering next year. So thank you. Thank you.
Stephen Randall.
I'd like to honor Mr. Pierce. He was my middle school band director, and I'm proud to say that that was my favorite class. Hold on a sec. Sorry. Drawing blank. He has inspired me, or he inspired me back in middle school to keep playing trombone, and he continues to inspire me today to achieve his high caliber of playing. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Pierce.
Thomas Renke.
Dr. Barrow has helped me to think outside the box, inside and outside of the classroom, and also to strive for excellence in everything that I do.
Miriam Saad. Ida Saeed.
I'm going to be a little more selfish. I'm going to honor two teachers. I'm going to honor Miss Laura Kovic, played by Mr. Police, and I'm going to honor Mr. Police, played by Mr. Police, both who taught me something very similar, that knowledge isn't about just facts and just bullet points, but it's also about beautiful stories. Thank you.
Michael Salter.
I brought Mr. Barkoff, wherever he is. Mr. Barkoff was my 9th grade gym teacher and is also currently my golf coach. He's inspired me to excel in my life in schoolroom and, most importantly, on the golf course. I want to thank him for all he's done for me.
Benjamin Shaw.
There's so much I could say about Mr. Conway as a teacher, as an AD, as the guy holding the megaphone during lunch. Mr. Conway, he taught us a very difficult subject at a time when we lost our first teacher, but he did so with great enthusiasm. And my favorite memory of Mr. Conway was when he broke the overhead coming back from winter break. But besides that, he was very influential in me choosing my future career. And I always remember him as the AD, my teacher, most importantly, as role model.
Thank you very much. James Sheridan.
I'm here to honor Mr. Pierce. He's my middle school band teacher. And above all, beyond music, he taught us how to make the transition between middle school and high school, how to grow up. I remember he'd always tell us these jokes that nobody would understand, but he would think they were hilarious. And we understand him now, and I'd just like to thank him for that. And unfortunately, he will be retiring this year, and I'm honored to be one of his students. Thanks, Mr. Pierce.
Eric Sorensen.
From very early on in my life, I planned on working in the computer science and mathematics field. Consistently having the same teacher, Mrs. Shaver, really allowed me to enhance my learning experience through a form of mutual trust that we have acquired over these 4 years. And I'd like to thank her with dealing with me over that time.
Holden Spencer.
As soon as I was invited to this honors night, Mrs. Utes was the teacher that I thought of instantly. I had her first in 3rd grade, and she's really the one that got the ball rolling for me and got me interested in academics. And then I had her again in 8th grade, and she just kept that going and kept pushing me to be the best that I could, and I'd like to thank her for that. Thank you.
Sarah Stormson.
So tonight I'd really like to thank Mrs. Parks, who taught me biology and anatomy and who guided me in my directed study. She not only sparked my interest in obesity and like the genetics behind it, but she also helped me make myself into a more outgoing person. So I really wanted to thank her for that.
Kevin Suter.
I'm also taking Mrs. Parks. I've had the honor of having Mrs. Parks 2 years, and never have I met a more intelligent or humorous lady in my life. It was an honor having her as a teacher. Thank you.
Katrina Swider.
Hello, I'm here to honor Mr. Barkoff. Not only was he my golf coach, but he helped me through my 4 years of high school, and he supplied us with unlimited MSU dairy ice cream when we went to States. Thank you.
Brittany Toller.
Although I never had Mr. Mifsud in the classroom, I had the honor of having him for a track coach for 2 years. Mr. Mifsud taught me one of the most important things that a teenager could ever need to learn, which is to believe in yourself. Even when things got really hard and I was the most difficult person to handle, Mr. Mifsud showed me nothing but constant praise and encouragement, and I will forever be thankful for him for the constant support that he showed me throughout my high school career. Thank you.
John Walter.
Hello? Although Mr. Oshnock, being my band director or orchestra director, has had little to no influence on my academic career, he's never believed any of my excuses, and he's never let me slide on anything, which after 4 years of being always a little subtly frustrated at him, has taught me one of the biggest life lessons of all. So thank you for that.
Neil Warren.
Hello, I'd like to thank Mr. Police, my speech teacher, because even though I still get nervous in front of crowds, he's taught me great skills and life lessons in speaking and public speaking that I can use for the rest of my life. So thank you.
Eric Weston.
I'm honoring Mrs. Shewitt because she's the first teacher that really ever challenged me. I've kind of always been in my brother's shadow, and she kind of said the first day I walked into her classroom in 6th grade, she's like, I only like the firstborn, so I kind of thought I'd prove her wrong. Thank you.
Anissa Wooten.
Hi, my name is Anissa, and I'm nominating my AP Lit teacher, Mr. Eikens. There's so much I could say about Mr. Eikens, but I'm going to keep it short and concise, as he would expect from our writing. He's been a great mentor, leader, and an inspiration. He's brought humor to the classroom, and he's opened my mind to topics that I would have not otherwise been exposed to if not for his wit and passion. He's helped shape my ideas and ideologies, and I'm just so happy that I've had him as a teacher. So thank you.
Beiruz Yakubi.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to honor my teacher, Mrs. Ferris, who I've had as a past honors chemistry and current forensics teacher. Not only does Ms. Ferris create a classroom environment that is challenging and interesting, but also engaging and supportive as well. So thank you, Mrs. Ferris.
Yusuf Yassarlar. Hikmet Yassin.
May I say something?
No, I'd like to.
I missed you. Did you miss me?
Good evening. I'm honoring Mr. Eikens, and even though he's been up here about 50 times now, it goes to show what an amazing teacher he is. He taught me lessons that go beyond the classroom, and I'd like to thank him for being such a caring teacher.
And finally, Janine Zaid.
I had the honor of having Mrs. Jones as my journalism teacher for 2 years, and throughout those 2 years, she not only offered me knowledge, but guidance, and always held out a helping hand whenever one was needed. Unfortunately, I had to give her up to Edsel Ford this year, but the life lessons that she taught me will be something I always carry with me. So thank you, Mrs. Jones.
Thank you, Dearborn High. Joining us this evening is another member of our Board of Education, Trustee Mary Lane. Could Fordson students line up to receive their awards, please?